everybody, welcome to my page. It's your girl Art by Minga, aka Minga, and I'm so happy to start 2024 off on the right foot. And that right foot is me being here recording. The last year was absolutely horrible. I did not meet my goals. I did not even honestly really didn't even try because me getting in my head again. So every year is a goal to be more consistent when doing these videos or doing my talks and things like that. So 2024 is no different. Here I am promising myself to try to do better, try to be more consistent. And I was like, you know what? Do it now. Do it. Don't think about it too much. Kids are in the room, your husband's at work, you have the perfect time. So that's why I'm doing this. And I'm hoping that I can keep the momentum up this year. This is going to be my year challenge. So those of you who are watching, thank you for joining me. Um, as I said, last year was rocky with me doing videos. The year before last, I started a series called Minga After Dark, where I pretty much went into a meditation and then whatever I felt like was on my mind or that the universe wanted me to talk about, I would then turn on my mic and start talking about it. So I'm pretty much going to be doing the same thing, only I'll be more on camera this time. That's really been a goal of mine, is to try to just be more on camera and um, get out of my head so much with the whole doing videos and things. So with that said, I will be piggybacking off some of my topics from my old Minga After Dark videos, because I really feel like I covered some pretty cool stuff in some of those videos. And again, they're just rambles of, things that might have been on my heart, things that I wanted to share with people, ideas I might have had, and things like that. So some of those I'm going to circle back around to and talk on camera about them. Might even get to talk to some guests. And that's something else I'm really excited about doing this year, is getting to interview just everyday people. I've come across so many people that aren't celebrities, that don't have any, necessarily um, superstar status or anything. We think when we do interviews that this person has to have so many views on a page, or they have to have some type of status to be worthy of interview. But life is a status. Life and adulting and just sharing how you've gotten through things thus far, that's the stuff I want to hear. I want to hear about the cool stories that people don't know that you've been through, or things that you've been wanting to tell. I want to sit down and talk with those kind of people. So look for that. I actually can say that is coming up, because I already have 2 or 3 people lined up to interview. And I'm one of those people, once I say I'm going to do something as far as involving other people, I have to do it. So these interviews are going to get done. I look forward to talking to these people, and they will probably be broadcast live on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, I would really, really love it if you could follow me on Instagram and my Facebook page as well. I will be most likely doing my lives over there, because that's where I know a lot of my friends and stuff there. So I'll probably do some lives over there and then share them on this page. Yeah. So outside of that, the one topic that I wanted to start this new venture of Minga After Dark is a topic that has come up in my head a few times throughout the year, just from being on social media and seeing how people react and talk about this topic within a certain generation. I would say, I think it's Gen Z. Um, let's say the generation like before me. I believe I'm a millennial. I was born in '84. So to get to the point is, I feel like with mental health, that it is a certain part of that topic that has um, a joke with it. It's like this generation takes mental health too serious, almost, is the joke. People get made fun of for oh, you guys got ADD. Well, when we were young, we didn't have pills for that, or we didn't have this and that. We just thugged it out. We just went through the motions. Our mom just beat our ass, or, things like that. And it's like, we worked so hard to get to where we are now as a society where people can feel comfortable even getting psychiatric help, going to a therapy, even feel comfortable with the thought of those being options, because that was a very taboo thing, especially for the minority community. It was like, we only know to just, like I said, thug it out, go through the motions. Nobody gets help. Ain't nobody paying for help. We ain't got health insurance for that, all of that crap. So there's been generations and generations of people who have just went through the motions. And that is commendable. It's crazy to think that someone could have been autistic or on the spectrum or had, bipolar disorder or anything of that nature, and one and not be acknowledged, because, back then, if you had any type of mental disorder, you were just sent to some nut house, and they studied you or tried to figure you out while you were just going through complete hell being there. Um, Times have changed. And with that, I'm learning that maturity has to come with the topic as well. As we see each generation get better with handling mental health discussions, topics, the past generations need to get mature as well. We can't be jealous, saying what we did and what we went through in our time and projecting it on you in a negative way. And that's something I would really like to talk to with the younger person. I don't know if you guys know, but I am about to be 40 in April. So when I say younger person, I can't say that. I want to speak to somebody who's like, in their 20s, maybe even younger, to see if they feel that, they get that kind of energy from the older community as well. About, maybe feeling self conscious about needing the medicine or taking medicine, because the older generations are like poking fun at how weak it makes you look, when we spent the last decade or so trying to say, hey, mental health is real. People need help. Medicine helps. People are committing crimes and doing some crazy things due to mental illnesses. Not all crimes, not all the crazy things have anything to do with mental illnesses. But you know what I mean? A lot of stuff could have been prevented had someone had the help, the medicine, the tools they needed to get better mentally. So yeah, that's my for 2024. I want everybody to focus on supporting each other's mental health. And even if that just means supporting each other's decision. If you're not the type to really call up, your best friend, or like, y'all don't really do that, hey girl, what's going on? And then you can just let loose. Cause I'm one of those persons. Oops, forgot this was here. I'm one of those people who don't mind to vent. And some people I've learned through different friendships I've shared throughout the years. Some people don't. Some people can be going through a lot of stuff and you would never know. You can talk to them while they're going through that stuff. They wouldn't mention it. I personally, I'm not that type of person, but I do read the room. I do read my friend's energy, or try to. And if I feel like they're not receptive to whatever drama you might have going on in your life, you don't impose it on them. But some friends want to be there. They want to be the shoulder to cry on. They want to give you advice. And then when it comes to them, they don't do that for themselves. They don't sit back and get the advice or get the love that they need, so that they can get better or get help going through whatever they're going through. So if you're not that type of friend, if you don't have that type of dynamic, at least support each other with how you get help. Making fun of each other about what illnesses we might have, what medicines we might be taking for those illnesses. It's like, it's immature, it's unnecessary, especially for a younger generation who's trying to have their shit together, who's trying not to grow up and be messed up parents because they themselves need to be on medicines. If we think about all the stuff that some of the horror stories we hear about how parents were, back in the day, Imagine some of them probably just needed medicine, y'all. I'm laughing because it's like a simple fix, you know? It's, people take for granted the muscle, the brain, so much dynamic with consciousness, so much dynamics with brains and neurons and hormones and balances. Like that stuff is real. And if you don't have yourself spiritually together, it could even get more out of hand. So, yeah, that was pretty much what I wanted to bring up. That's usually how my Minga After Dark episodes are. I talk about a quick topic, say what's on my heart, say what's on my mind, and then I leave it into up to you in the comments to kind of piggyback off of what I said, whether you agree, disagree, if you have any examples of, you know, what I'm talking about or anything like that. I love to read the comments. And it honestly, obviously, comments are the driving force for creators because it's like when you see your stuff is being interacted with, it makes you want to go ahead and post more. And I can honestly say that's probably why I didn't post as much last year because um, I was just like the energy it takes to do this just to get a few views and a few likes, you know, which is just not, the math wasn't mathing. So right now I had to do this more for myself, more for to challenge myself, more to see if I can be consistent with something because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's all about your consistency and how often you put your heart and time into something before you start seeing growth. And I just have to remind myself that I can be a little impatient, a little let's get to it sometimes. But social media, it trains you. It really does. If it trains you with the content you watch, depending on what kind of person you are, to whether you want to watch longer or shorter things. If you're a person that goes through the shorts and you can watch a bunch of shorts all day versus someone who would actually sit there and watch an hour-long video, it trains you in that way too, as far as patience. And for content creators, it trains us in a way where we have to be patient to see the results. We have to be consistent to see the results. So anytime I see a page that's like doing good, I feel like, wow, they are consistent. They are doing what they need to do to get their page to where it was, where it is. So that's really where my mind is at. And I look forward to seeing if I can crush my own goals this year. In retrospect to just not doing anything at all, you know. So I think that's before I usually get off. I like to like have a moment where I feel if anything else is trying to come through or that I should talk about. Meanwhile, let's have a staring contest. All right, so how about this? Do you guys think that 2024 is this that year where we're really, really, really like if a civil war, not even a civil war at this point, if a war was to break down on United soil, is this that year? Should we be trying to like go half on some bunkers or something? Should we be like preparing? I've been really thinking about that a lot lately. And it's funny, like sometimes I just do stuff out the blue and then I realize it was for something. Um, Random example, before I moved to Florida, I had this obsession with learning Spanish. And I just hired a tutor, I got the books, found websites, spent about a year and a half, 2 years maybe, teaching myself intermediate Spanish. And I moved to Florida where I spoke Spanish a lot in my jobs in retail. And I had that aha moment. I was like, I could not figure out why I was going so hard with learning this language. And it wasn't too odd for me because I love like languages. I love studying them. I haven't in a while, so don't, you know, don't expect nothing cool for me or anything like that. But at the time, it wasn't out the box. At the time, in my head, I was just like, yeah, I'm really trying to be, motivated to stay on top of this. But it was kind of just like out the blue. And then, so like I said, once I got to Florida, I kind of put two and two together, and I was like, that was the universe or God or my angels or whatever spiritual team that was working at the time, preparing me. Fast forward to being in Florida and about, let's say, around the time before COVID happened, I think. I just been saving water bottles. Like and yeah, people recycle. I was not doing this before. Purposely recycling the water bottles or whatever. I was really on some like, if some shit go down, we gonna have water. That's all I was thinking. Like, we need to have water if the world decides to crumble tomorrow, if the electricity grid or, if anything just pop off, if you got water, you good. Like, even if you run out of food, if you still got water, you good, right? So I just been on this tangent. Like, I got random water bottles and stuff throughout my house, and I stopped doing it like last year because I started running out of space that I could, put the water at. And something's just telling me, you better keep going. And I'm going to listen to myself, because this might be one of those years where some shit pop off and we're going to need that water, them water bottles. And it's a really scary thought. I feel like being on this planet in general, I was going to say being American, but no, being on this planet in general, we just need some type of contingency plan. We need some backup plan, because anytime something can pop off. And the last thing we want to do is be in that dire situation where it's like we don't have anything to help ourselves. So 2024, I'm going to go back into, storing water. When I do grocery runs, I want to order like 1 pack of water each grocery run. Every time I use a Gatorade bottle or something, clean it out, fill it up with water, and store that sucker somewhere. Um, we had those emergency radios that you can wind up, and it can be in the solar panel. It has the solar panels on it you can put out in the sun. That thing was cheap and it don't work good. So this year I need to get another one, and I encourage you guys to get stuff like that. Get flashlight, batteries, candles, water bottles, get the tablets so you can filter out water just in case you're by a lake and you have to like filter that water or something like that. Um just be prepared. That's all I can say. I don't know where this is coming from, but just be prepared just in case something go down this year or any year, period. Like I said, if you are a human being on this planet, you need to have a contingency plan for some shit to pop off. With that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. Again, I'm going to try to be as consistent with this as possible. And I already feel kind of hype. I'm having fun doing this, guys. So I will be back, and hopefully you guys will be able to see one of my upcoming interviews. And yeah, so if you got anything to say in the comments, drop them comments. If you ain't following me yet, follow me, subscribe, check out my Instagram page, check out my Facebook page. I'll make sure to put all of that in the description so you can easily click the link and go check your girl out. Peace and have a good day.